Good morning, students. In today's class, I am going to talk with you about gymnosperms. So, in plant kingdom, the kingdom is divided into 5 groups of plants. So, already we have come across all those plants. The one is algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So these are the 5 groups of plants which come under the kingdom plantae. So algae, bryophyte and pteridophytes are said to be cryptogamy, means the plants without seeds. Plants without seeds. But gymnosperms and angiosperms are said to be phanerogamy, means the plants with seeds. The plants with seeds. So in today's class we are going to discuss about the gymnosperms. So that's how gymnosperms are different from the angiosperms, because when both have the seeds means what we are differentiating gymnosperm and angiosperm. So the name itself suggests us. Gymno means naked. Sperm means seeds. Gymnosperms have naked seed, whereas angiosperms have enclosed seeds. Means seeds are enclosed before fertilization with ovary and after fertilization with the fruit. But such structures are not seen in the gymnosperm. There is no ovary before fertilization. There is no fruit after fertilization. So seeds are opened or exposed, and such seeds are called the naked seeds. Means gymnosperms have the naked seeds. Gymnosperms have the naked seeds, means seeds are not covered either ovary or fruit wall before and after fertilization. The next character of gymnosperm is the plants may be in different forms. They may be medium sized plants, or tall trees and shrubs. And these plants are available in all the forms. They may be medium sized, tall or shrubs. The one of the gymnosperm, that is redwood tree, which also called sequoia, is the tallest gymnosperm. One of the gymnosperm, redwood tree, or is also called sequoia, is the tallest gymnosperm. The gymnosperms have the taproot system. They have the taproot system. In morphology of flowering plant, we study taproot and fibrous root system. But here also I explain what is the meaning of taproot system. Taproot system means there is one main root which has many primary and secondary rootlets. When a main root has many branches, the branches are in the form of primary and secondary rootlets. Such root system is called the taproot system. So in gymnosperm we find taproot system. So roots are associated with fungal, and that association is called the mycorrhiza in some genera like Pinus. In Pinus, there is a mycorrhizal association this association exhibit between the roots of these plants with fungus. This is a type of symbiotic association where both plant as well as fungi are mutually benefited. There is one more symbiotic association exists between these groups of plants in cycas. The coralline roots of cycas are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Coralline roots of cycas are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria like nostoc. So cyanobacteria, nostoc are associated with these coralline roots and they help in the absorption of nitrogen. So next we'll talk about the leaves and branches of gymnosperm. In gymnosperm, some plants may have branched stem and some have the unbranched stem. Branched stem, example Pinus and Cedrus, where these plants have the branched stem. That's why they are used to call the higher gymnosperms. And plants like cycas have unbranched stem. These have the cycas have the unbranched stem. Leaves may be simple as in ginkgo, or it may be pinnately compound as in case of cycas. Leaves may be simple as in case of ginkgo, or may be pinnately compound as in cycas. So the leaves of gymnosperms are capable to withstand extreme conditions like temperature, humidity and wind. They are very rough, or they can face any kind of situation, adverse situation of the environment. In coniferous, the leaves are needle-like. Leaves are needle-like. Such leaves are there. And they also have the thick cuticle and sunken stomata. So these characters help the plant to reduce the water loss by transpiration. If the leaf surface is large, there is a large quantity of water can escape by the transpiration because of the large number of stomata present on the leaf surface. When leaf surface is very narrow, the number of stomatas are less and loss of water is also less. And thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce the water loss during transpiration. The gymnosperms are heterosporous. Gymnosperms are heterosporous. Meaning of heterosporous is when a single plant produces two different sized or types of spores. A same plant may produce microspore as well as megaspore. When two different sized spores are produced by the single plant, then it is called the heterosporous. There are two types of spores are produced by this single plant. Microspores megaspore. So these microspore, megaspores are present within the sporangium, which are present on the sporophylls, and these sporophylls present on the axis or they form a compact structure which we call the strobili or cone. The microspore develops into male gametophyte, whereas megaspore develops into female gametophyte. So the cone, there are two types of cones. One is male strobili or male cone. Male cones or male strobili or female cones or female strobili. There are two types of strobili are present. They may present on the same plant or they may present two different plants. In case of Pinus, both male and female strobili are present on the same plant. But in case of Cycas, male cones are present on one plant, female cones are present on the other plant. So hence we call the Cycas as a dioecious plants because they have only one sex strobili. Now, structure of male cone. Which bears compactly arranged microsporophylls. This is the male cone. These individual leaves are called the sporophylls. Microsporophyll. These microsporophylls compactly arranged and form the cone. On the surface of microsporophylls, there are two microsporangium on each microsporophyll. If you enlarge the structure of a single microsporophyll, there are two microsporangia. These microsporangia bears microspore mother cells. These are called the microspore mother cell. When microspore mother cell, which is diploid, undergo meiosis, produce 4 microspores. Due to meiosis in microspore mother cell, 4 microspores are produced. These microspore later transform as reduced male gametophyte, which is called the pollen grain. Reduced male gametophyte called pollen grain. So pollen grain in gymnosperm has two layers, inner exine, inner intine and outer exine. So this is the structure of a pollen grain. So inner intine is smooth and cover the pollen grain, whereas exine form wing-like structures. So these wings are formed by the exine. Because pollination in gymnosperm is by air or anemophilous. So these pollen grains has to reach the female gamete which is present inside archegonium by the help of air currents. So these wings help during pollination. So this is about the male gamete and the remaining parts of the male, the sex organ. So here I repeat one more time. There are two types of spores are produced in gymnosperm. That's why they are called the heterosporous. Microspore, megaspore. From microspore, the male gametophyte is developing, that we call the pollen grain. So pollen grains have the wings, and because they have wind pollination. So these microspores are present on the microsporophylls inside the microsporangium. So spore mother cells present in the microsporangia undergo meiosis and forms the 4 microspore. The sporophylls bearing microsporangia and microspore arranged spirally on the axis of cone are formed either male cone or male strobili. So this is the structure of male strobili and the other parts present in this male sex organ. Now let us discuss about the female strobili. Female strobili or female cone. As in case of male, here also the megasporophylls arrange around the axis and they form the female cone or female strobili. This is called the female cone or strobili, which is made by spirally arranged megasporophylls. Megasporophylls. Sporophyll means a leaf-like structure which bear the megaspore, and that is called the megasporophyll. Each megasporophyll has 2 megasporangium or ovule. Has 2 megasporangia or which may also call the ovule. The ovule in case of gymnosperm is orthotrophous, which is upright. Orthotrophous means upright and it has single integument or protective layer. In case of angiosperm, there are 2 integuments, but in case of gymnosperm, only 1 integument. That's why they also called the unitegument. They are called the unitegument. So inside the ovule, nucellus is there. One of the nucellar cell differentiate itself and act as a megaspore mother cell. Inside the megaspore ovule, nucellus is there. One of the cell from the nucellus differentiate and form the megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell, which is diploid. And in diploid megaspore mother cell, meiosis takes place. And that results 4 haploid megaspores. 4 haploid megaspores are forming. But among the 4, The first three are degenerate. First three degenerate. Only one is remaining. This is called the functional megaspore. This functional megaspore develops into multicellular female gametophyte. Female gametophyte. So the female gametophyte bears one or two archegonia or sex organs, inside which the female gamete is present. During fertilization, the male gamete carried by the wind comes very close to ovule or to the mouth of the archegonia. The pollen tube emerges, pollen tube, through which it releases or it sends all its contents, and the content of the pollen grain is discharged on the mouth of the archegonia, and later both male gamete and female gametes fuse together. Fertilization takes place, and fertilization results the zygote. Zygote will develop into embryo, whereas ovule will develop as a seed, and this seed is not enclosed or covered by any fruit part. Hence they are called the naked seeded plants. So this is the whole explanation of gymnosperm. We'll continue the same topic next part in the next class. Thank you.